What is up, and welcome back, you absolute savages. This one's going to be a rough one. We lost my dad last year, and my mom's been living in my childhood house since. And it is time for her to move on. So she has officially sold my childhood home. And it's for the better. It's time for her to go. She's going to move to a nice community, and I'm happy for her. I want her to live out her days in happiness for sure. But today, I'm going to do a little tour of my childhood home. Try not to get too emotional. And whenever you see me wear the mustache, it's because my dad had a mustache. And whenever I get sentimental about my dad, I always cut a mustache. So that's the secret behind that. So, here's my childhood home that we lived in for 35 years. It's officially been sold. And we are out of here in 3 days. So my wife is an angel, and she's here helping my mom pack. There's a dump trailer coming today that we got to fill. We got a bunch of things to do to finalize this. But man, this is going to be tough. Let's go inside. See where we get with this. Hold for tears.
Right?
If there's one thing she can do, it's figure it out.
I'm gonna try.
Always figure it out.
Now, where the end is, now
I
that's...
know.
I
You
can
just
find
have to
that.
keep-
Okay, there it is.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go cry in all the rooms.
Love you.
Room 1. My original bedroom, starting in 1989. We moved here. 1989, we moved here from Sebastian. And this is my original room. A lot of in and out of this window. A little bit of in and out from this window. But this is where my waterbed sat. That's right, I'm old. Waterbed. And this was my first room. It initially, my sister and I, we had our own wing of the house. And this is where I got to be. So if you look out this window, it was an easy escape for little kids that were ever grounded out to the shed. And yeah. It became the jam room when I moved into my sister's room when she moved out. This is where I recorded my first music that I recorded by myself. Have my drum kit here, my recording studio here, guitars over here. And then it became my niece's playroom. I think it was my niece's playroom, Kendall, at the same time that it was my music room. And we kind of shared space because she didn't live here. It was just a playroom. But then it became my son's room / playroom. And it had all the toys, shelves. This used to be a dorm with all the NASCAR stuff. Pretty bare now. I get it. And then, when my sister got married and moved out at 18, I got the bigger room with 2 windows. And this was my mainstay, I think, from age 13 on. This is where I lived. This was my bedroom. And you want to talk about sneaking out windows. We snuck in and out of this window many a times late at night. And my bed was right here, and I used to have a chair right here. And my dad bought me a big screen TV when HD first came out. My friend worked for DishNet, and my dad bought us all HD TVs, but there was only one HD channel, and it was Discovery. But I had a big screen TV right here in my bed, and this is the room that Angela used to sleep in with me when we weren't allowed to do that, but she would stay the night all the time. And this was it. This was my room after my sister's room. Lots of memories in here. My giant closet where I used to keep all my baseball cards up top. Whatever extracurricular activities I would hide in there. I also had my DJ booth in here, right over here, before there was a chair. back when DJ equipment was CD decks and you had to mix CD decks. Yeah, that's how old I am. I'm not record old, but I'm CD old. My bathroom. The low sink, Dusty Rose. We always gave my mom hell for this because it was Dusty Rose. And back in the day, this was my sister and my bathroom. So we had the matching vanities. And then you want to talk about the best hiding spot for hide and seek ever? Whoop! Right behind that door. I used to crush hide and seek right behind that door. But look at this. I mean, how dated is all this wood stuff? This is all so 80s. Look at them lights. We kind of moved from an 80s house to an 80s house, right? And we never did much remodeling in here.
Target bathroom. And it's like,
You sent an email?
no, I went to the front desk and then they
Nice Helen, Georgia shirt.
No, you need.
I'm gonna go back to that. You ever been to Helen, Georgia? We got a vlog. Helen, Georgia. All right. This front room was my grandfather's room. He lived with us for the first 15 years of my life, and this was Grandpa Mike's room. And Grandpa Mike was my best friend when I was a kid. He taught me how to play poker. He taught me how to play pinochle. We used to play church in here. I used to pretend to be a priest, and he would take communion from me, and we would do all kinds of stuff. And my mom, even though my grandfather did not die in this room, he did live in this room for 15 years. And my mother would always say that in his closet, this door would constantly move on its own. And she would know that he was in here. So every once in a while, these doors would swing. And my mom always thought that that was Grandpa Novak crossing over to say, hey, I'm still here. I love you guys. But yeah, I used to lock him. We would play cops and robbers. And I would lock him in the bathroom. He was the best. He was the best sport. I'm talking 88 years old. The man would sit on this toilet right here. Right here. I'd put him on this toilet and I would lock him in. And he would pretend, cry, and moan like he was really in prison. He was the best. I got such a good time with my family. Not many people get to live with their grandparents, but I got to spend a lot of time with my grandparents. Subsequently, when my grandfather died, my other grandmother and grandfather moved down from Kansas City. So when one left my life, two came into my life full time. And yeah. Grandpa Mike also had his dresser right here that always had a wallet in it that had hundreds of dollars at any given time. And he would always give me money, no matter what I needed. Movies, fare, whatever. Grandpa Mike, hey Gramps, can I get 20 bucks to go to the carnival? Always, always. So many Braves games. Sanford and Son, and Lawrence Welk. If you know what that is, Google that. Google what Lawrence Welk is. But I used to sit in here on my grandpa's bed while he was on his power chair. And that's what we used to watch. A lot of Braves baseball. I was a big Braves fan. Big Braves fan. When I tell you that my dad was the party leader, I can't tell you how many hundreds of parties we had on this back porch. We also used to play poker back here like a absolute bunch of savages until 4 or 5 in the morning. My parents built this pool when I was about 14, 15 years old. We didn't have a pool until then, but we were completely secluded. Now you can see behind me, they're building houses as we sell. They're building more houses, but we used to just be surrounded by woods. There was nothing but woods around us, and now we got 2 houses back here. What is that, a fire extinguisher? But our yard extends over to that side of the house. That's the first place my son ever rode his 4-wheeler, his Power Wheels. We got a couple of our family dogs buried over there. And my dad's shed. Let me just say something about the outside of this house. You see this house? This is a wood house. And something my dad always did was he would paint this house every single summer. So if you count it up, there's probably, before he got sick, probably about 25 coats of paint on this bad boy holding this whole house together. Some of his memorabilia that I got him still up. I don't think I got him either one of these, but there used to be a pirate sign there that I got him. There used to be a Pabst Blue Ribbon sign there, and still the Gnarly Barley remains. But this was kind of our hangout. Most of the time when we were at the house, we were all out here smoking cigarettes and laughing and drinking. My graduation party was out here when I graduated from high school. So many good times out here on this patio.
You gotta have your hair done.
Dude,
Moving.
Angela, look at this. Look at this. These bandanas are older than you. Spuds McKenzie.
I believe it.
The old Spuds McKenzie Bud Light. I know.
Absorb sweat like there's no tomorrow. They are
Dude.
good.
How old is that thing? Mash hoagies. Look at these. All of these are mash hoagies.
Hey, have you
How did they used to give all these?
videos for the
Dang.
at the new Michigan?
Mom and Dad's room.
Where were we last year? In the locker room. The new locker
Yeah,
room.
no, I
They redid
Oh
it?
my gosh.
Did they leave any playbooks around?
I don't know. And I didn't really see anything, but I was flabbergasted. Oh my gosh.
How did you? What do you mean? They shot a video inside of it?
It's on, yeah. They sent it to me because, I follow them.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
so on my Facebook page, there's all kinds of stuff.
Oh.
Pictures of all of this with these lights and, oh.
Yeah, it was kind of a crappy room when we
Yeah,
were in it
they
last time.
went- They went ultra.
All right, the sunroom. This was my dad's room. This is where my dad ultimately died in his hospice bed right there. And I sat right there. And I got to, my mom and my sister were here when he passed. And I got to sit right here in this chair. Kind of spend some time with his body after he had gone. And this room's tough to be in. But this is where my dad spent all of his time. Right here watching TV. I mean, literally, he spent all of his time in here watching TV, especially towards the end. And all these walls used to be adorned with Budweiser mirrors and NASCAR memorabilia and draft handles right there on that shelf. And he had all kinds of pictures of the kids. When he got sick, he just wanted pictures of the kids up on the wall so he could see all the grandbabies. It's heavy. This room is heavy. Tough for me to sit in here. That was his chair. And I know if this is hard for me, it's got to be terrible for my mom. And it is. It's hard for me. But this is where my dad ultimately passed away. Right here.
That's what I'm saying. We got, here's a bag. If you use this one. I washed it. This is my laundry bag.
This is our family room, where Christmas always was. The tree was always here. Actually, the first year, I think we did the tree out here. But then every year after that, the tree was here. So this was the big Christmas room. And I can literally see everybody in here for Christmas.
Oh, wow. Lots of fog.
What, on the windows? Yeah, it rained a little bit while I was in the gym, I guess. Oof. There's Dad. And the dogs. The one room that did get the makeover in the house is the kitchen. And we redid my mom's kitchen for Christmas. What, 2 years ago? 3 years ago? She got a little update on the kitchen. This is our spot. All right. This is where we spend all of our time. My father's garage. I think it's important to tell you that my dad built this house with his builder friend. I think they started in like 1987, and I was here every single day with them, before school, after school, through summer, banging nails, building this house. I still have vivid memories of it. How many people's dads build their own house? My dad wasn't a builder, but he built this house with his friends. Same thing with our old house in Sebastian. He built this house with his friends. And this was the garage. My dad was a big car guy. And this was the garage that my dad had a race car. He had old classic cars. And we were just always out here. This was where my dad's refrigerator was, where all his drinking buddies would come every weekend and sit and they'd drink beer. We built a race car here. I used to get in the race car and just rev it up when my dad wouldn't be here. I'd start it for all my friends so they could hear it. And you could always smell the fuel when he'd come home and know that I did it. Also a great story. My sister would not, shout out Jen, my sister Jen would not get my boogie board down from the attic one time when I was young and still didn't know how cars worked, probably 8. And I got in here. My dad had a Buick Regal, a red Buick Regal. My dad always took his cars very seriously. You weren't ever allowed to even look or breathe at the cars. But right here, let me show you. See how this wall is off a little bit? How it gets a little wavy on the way down there on the crest, like right in here? I put his car in reverse so that I could get it moved back far enough to open the attic. When I did that, I didn't know the car was going to move on its own in reverse. So I put it in R, and when I took my foot off the brake, the car moved back. I got super scared. I shut it off. Went to go shut the garage so nobody would know that I moved his car when my parents were at work. But the car was hanging out of the garage too much. So I had to pull it back in. Well, I wasn't using my brain because I was in panic mode and I didn't figure when I put it in D, it was going to move by itself again. So I put it in drive to pull it back in and it started going all on its own. And I ran into the wall with my dad's car. Backed it off the wall a little bit, shut the garage. I cleaned up all the broken wall. And I'll tell you this, they did not notice that that wall was broken for 2 weeks. I got away with it for 2 weeks. And then they finally noticed. And I think it was because I kind of just said, blah, that I didn't get in too much trouble. But I definitely drove my dad's Buick Regal through that closet. I did. Sawyer, Macy, don't drive my truck into the lake out front. It's not a green light. Learn from the stupid things I did. Anyway, I didn't get in too much trouble for that. But, yeah. But this is my dad's garage, man. This is where it all went down, as they say. This is where all the beer drinking went down. This is where all the partying went down. And the race car building, the late nights building a race car. This is just it. My dad was big into yard work and painting, and whenever he wasn't at work doing work stuff, he would be working on his house. Just that old school mentality where my mom always kept it clean inside and out, and my dad kept it painted and edged, and very meticulously took care of their house. Something I obviously didn't learn from them, but I watched it happen. I just never absorbed it. Because I don't care. I think there's better things to do with your time, like go to Disney. Pull the weeds later. This actually came from Sebastian, and from our first house. He brought it up here and put it in our second house. And when I open this cabinet, I can still smell 1982, 1985. There's a code for something that he needed. Venomous snake. But this thing right here used to be full. Paint stuff, randoms. Just look, random stuff, no big deal, but the smell that this thing has is my childhood. It's my childhood. Here's 15 millimeters for the oil pan. He just wrote his notes inside that thing. But that smells like mine. Really, that cabinet triggers all kinds of memories. Just that smell. He had this random... Oh my gosh, he cleaned out all the screws. My dad had buckets of screws. And when I say buckets, I mean he saved every screw and every bolt he ever had. Just in case we needed it again. The outside of the house, out front. Looks like they're gonna dump some concrete over there. They're already ready for concrete. This woods right here used to be where we would discard everything. And when I say everything, I mean bongs, pipes, bottles, rocks. And we used to have a game where when we throw our empty beer bottles into those woods, it would always hit another beer bottle and or bong and or pipe, something. But that was always our game. Ugh. Well, my father built. Still stands the test of time 35 years later. And, you know, this is a beautiful house. It was a fantastic neighborhood to grow up in. I many lifelong friends that I still am in contact with from this neighborhood, Pine Tree Park. And if you ever saw our episode on the orange tree that Hank, we bought from Hank 2-3 years ago, that thing is thriving. Ready to drop oranges probably in another year. Look at this thing. Amazing. Double fence because we had a dog that could get out of the low fence. So we had to put the high fence in. And this is where my basketball hoop used to be. My basketball hoop actually used to sit right here. And these trees were always much smaller. You know, this palm tree grew in 35 years. This thing used to come up to my waist. This one right here. It used to be a waist-high tree. And this is where we would shoot all our free throws from, right here. This was free throw line. So none of that ever got in our way. Our neighbor Steve has lived there since the beginning. Amazing neighbor, always helpful. Z and Enrique across the street here. They actually moved back to Puerto Rico to take care of Enrique's mom, and their son and daughter now live there. But this is the hood, man. This is where I grew up. I always make these jokes that I was raised by the Moral Pits, but at the end of this street is the biggest, most beautiful lake, and we got to see way too much, way too young down there. But we had dirt bike tracks and half pipes and fishing and cigarette smoking and all kinds of stuff that we probably shouldn't have been doing. But this is what made me. This is what built me, man. Just being here. Oh, and I didn't take much from my dad. Like when he passed, I guess I did. I took a lot of sentimental stuff, but this guy right here, this guy's going right to my house. This has been our toolbox now for 30 years. All right, this is the last day for you in your house of 35 years. How's it feel?
Mixed feelings. I'm happy and I'm sad at the same time.
In what way? Elaborate on that.
I'm happy because it's a new beginning for me and I need to make some changes and get out of the frump that I've been in. I'm sad because I had 35 years here and raised 2 kids, helped my father-in-law live here with us, and kept my husband going for at least 6 years, took care of him, and it's just got a lot of memories in it, so it's sad. 35 years is a long time for anything, and living in one house for 35 years for me is a long time.
That's a long time. Is that
Yep.
the longest you've ever lived anywhere?
Yep.
Solely? This is our second house in Florida.
other than Grandpa Mike's trailer?
I was talking about Grandpa Mike's trailer the other day. Something, Karen that's doing the sales over there, she was saying something, and I said, no, when we moved down here, I said we moved through UPS. And so if it couldn't fit in a box that UPS would ship, we couldn't bring it. So we had yard sales every weekend to get rid of stuff.
I remember yard sales. I remember selling to dogs.
Yeah, exactly. We had yard sales every Saturday, getting rid of everything because it had to fit in a box that UPS would lift and carry and deliver. And then they deliver it to poor Grandpa, and it was on his porch. He had a beautiful glassed-in porch, and it was full of boxes. Every day UPS
Oh yeah, because that was
there.
Shady Rest. You sent it to Shady Rest.
No, he wasn't in. He had already moved. He was
Really?
he was in Harbor.
Yeah, Snug Harbor. No, not Snug Harbor. He didn't live in Snug Harbor.
Yes, he did.
Was
That's
it Snug
exactly-
Harbor?
yeah,
And when,
'cause-
what was the big one where we would go use the pool?
Well, that was the other side of Snug Harbor. That was the same thing.
It was
but
still
the-
Snug Harbor?
Right, but the
Oh,
pool was
okay.
on the other side of the railroad tracks.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
mhm, yep.
So why do I remember Shady Rest then?
That's where he lived, and we would come down to visit him for 2 years. We came down here for vacations.
Oh,
and he
so I
was in
remember Shady Rest from before
Yeah.
we lived
Yeah.
in Snug Harbor.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Because I do remember being at Shady Rest. I just have like one vivid memory of
Yeah,
being at Shady
you were
Rest.
really little.
Yeah, but I do have a memory of
Yeah.
it. Crazy.
Yeah.
All right. What are your top 3 memories? If you can try to bottle that, what are your top 3 memories from here in
here.
35 years?
35 years. Top 3. Well, probably Jennifer's wedding, your wedding.
But those weren't here. I mean, what are the top 3 memories that happened in the house?
Oh, in the house.
Events in the house. What are
Okay.
your 3 best,
Okay,
warmest memories?
the birthday party that we did for your dad.
Where everybody was out
Yeah, where
front.
you built the stage and everything. That
Yeah.
was one. And then your birthday, 18, was it your 18th birthday when we had everybody over? Or 21?
I don't know.
I think, I don't know, it was either 18 or 21 when we had the big party here on the side for you.
It's probably 18.
Yeah, and so we
Because-
had,
oh, it was because some of the CarQuest guys were here.
yeah,
So I think it was 18.
Okay,
No,
yeah.
no. It was definitely 21.
Okay.
Because those guys are the ones that took me to the Key West, which was Speakeasy for
Oh,
the first
okay,
time.
okay.
Jay and Burke.
Right.
Rest in peace.
yeah, so we had that party here and, when we had my mom and dad's they had 60th anniversary, we had it on the patio. Yep.
So just the parties. You like the host. This was always the host house.
I didn't have a choice. Remember, I used to come home from teaching all day.
And
The
there'd be
party
people
was in the
here.
driveway.
Yeah.
And he would look at me and say, "Do we have any cheese and crackers?" We're hungry. Do we have any cheese and crackers? I'm sure we can find some. That's what Jennifer used to make fun of me, that I always had cheese and crackers. I said, "There's a reason."
Oh, I
There is
don't
a-
remember that.
Yep.
I just remember, run and get pizza, run and get burgers. 3 pieces of advice for future generations that watch this, for your grandkids. 3 things to make it through life happy. Same thing I asked your father.
I know.
You know what his 3rd one was? Never get into politics.
Well, that's a good one. That's a real good one. Yeah, probably enjoy your children while they're young because they grow up very fast. But hopefully you'll get to be grandparents because grandchildren are a whole lot better. And probably just do something you love. Do something you love.
One more.
Oh, one more.
3rd
Okay.
piece of advice for your grandchildren
Oh.
and great-grandchildren.
Try very hard not to take things too seriously.
Yep, your dad said that too. 2 of the most serious people I've ever met both said that. Only he was facing death, and you're just facing moving out. That's wild. All right, if you had to say goodbye to the house as if it was a person, say goodbye to the house.
Can't do it.
What do you
Can't
mean?
it. I can't do it. And I'm gonna do that tomorrow, and I can't do it now.
Well, I'm going to film you when you do it.
You do what you have to do, but tomorrow's gonna be bad, so. It's gonna be
right.
sad.
Well, movers are coming in the morning. Everything junk-wise is moved out of the house. Septic tank's getting handled as we speak. And that's it. From
That's
6225 7th place. It's been a long run.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
We'll pick this up tomorrow when we do the old goodbye forevers.
Yep.
Love you, Mom.
I already put all that in there.
Yeah. This place, though, is nuts. First of all, it's much smaller right now. I don't know why. Usually, I mean, obviously, you know, this was 24 years ago. But yeah, your TV, ottoman, then you had a big, ridiculously sized chair there, bed, table, hamper here. That's where you peed in the corner drunk one night. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't remember the closet being this big.
Closet was huge. Always.
This is actually very big.
Always huge.
I don't remember it being this big.
I said I used to keep my baseball cards up in there. And then all my contraband was also in my baseball cards up there.
Now Mom knows where you kept it. But yeah, John would sneak in, not sneak in, but he would just come in and out of that. I just remember looking at it like, what the hell are you guys doing?
Smoke salmon on
What?
a clothesline.
Why are you not just using the front door? I don't.
Smoked salmon on a clothesline.
I don't really remember that story.
You were asleep.
Okay.
Me and John were playing time splitters. And we were obviously stoned out of our minds. And we just kept saying, smoked salmon. We got you to talk in your sleep. So we started asking you questions while you were asleep on the bed. Mm-hmm. And one of the things we were like, smoked salmon on a clothesline? You were like, yeah, smoked salmon on a clothesline. As you were asleep.
Smoked salmon on a clothesline.
Yeah, so we got
I couldn't
you to
remember what it was.
Smoked salmon on a clothesline while you were asleep.
I feel like we need to do that.
Top 3 memories in this house.
Top 3?
What are the top 3 memories in this house?
The super awkward first dinner in the dining room of being not awkward. I was awkward and just
I don't
shy.
remember that.
I was very shy and I did not know what to think about your family. I was just like, oh my gosh, these people are crazy and they're very outgoing and they don't care that I'm new. Your dad's giving me a hard time. Poker night in the garage for sure. And probably number 1 is you told me you love me right here for the very first time. It was awesome. So we got good memories.
Great memories.
Yeah.
Tell the house goodbye as if it was a person.
Goodbye, house. You've been wonderful and great, and fuck that toilet in the first bathroom. Forever. It's been like on my Christmas list for the last 10 years to buy a new one and install it, and I never did. So I'm sorry, house. But yeah, it's been a great house. I hope the next family really enjoys it as much as your family did. And yeah, 24 years. So I have great memories here too, so yeah.
I'm going to ask you, what are your top 3 memories in this house? Your 3 favorite memories in this house?
I wish we could still keep this house. I love this house.
No, but what are your favorite memories of being here?
Just all the time, Grandma would just let me have tomato basils here, and now we're going to have a way better house.
What about with Grandpa in the room?
I wish he was still alive. He made me laugh every single time I came here. He was like, hey, come here, sticker.
You going to miss this place?
I won't miss it.
We're going to help Grandma move into her new spot and be happy with her life, yeah?
I'll miss this place.
This is your first place, man. This is, you spent a lot of time here. All right, Big G.
All right.
All right, well, my plan was to get my mom today on film for the last time in the house, but she has skirted away to her new place. So it's just me and Angela, and really it's just the 3 of us because no one else cares or is involved. So it's my wife, myself, and my mom, and it's just the 3 of us. And this is the last time I'll ever walk through my childhood home. Ever. The room where my dad died. Rest in peace, Bill. Hope we did your name with some honor. The patio where it all went down. The last time. House is going to a woman with 2 children, so my mom's happy about that. This is it. 35 years. 35 years of living here, 35 years of memories. God, every memory I ever had, right here in this house. And this is it. We're shutting the door. Moving on. You've been an amazing house. And now it's time to say goodbye. Terrible. Goodbyes are tough. Especially in the house you grew up in.
But on the other side of the goodbye is a hello.
When a door closes, a window opens.
That is true.
Always. I'm gonna spit in the sink one last time, Connie.
Take that, Connie.
I'm not washing it out. 6225, 7th place. Chapter closed.
Woo!
It's a long chapter, man. Love everything about it. Gonna miss this house. Gonna drive by from time to time, guaranteed. Angela, any parting words?
I just hope your mom's happy. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
I hope everybody's
She
happy at
deserves
the end of this.
happiness, and that's it.
She does.
She deserves to be happy. Her last final everything.
Is the front door locked?
So we have to close the garage and go out the front door.
Go out the front door.
Yep. So we're gonna shut this door
Last time,
Over
I'm
there.
closing the garage on my dad's garage.
over there.
What do you mean?
This door as well. We gotta close. Oh, she already did. Okay.
The Detroit Tiger sticker. Buyed all the Detroit memorabilia. Huh. All right, so we close this and we go out the front.
No. What was the pickle?
Wax
Oh,
remover.
Wax remover. Okay.
There's a sand bag that you could rub on your surfboard to take the wax out. This is it.
It's all right.
I know it's all right.
It's all right. It's gonna be okay.
So we just locked the bottom.
She locked. Remember when you got those? Did you get those stickers for your dad?
No, he did it. He got them up there.
Good for him. Never pulled the trigger.
Here we go, man. We are out for good. On to the new spot. Big chapter. Gone but never forgotten.